Hey, what's up? My name is Clifford Starks. I'm a former UFC fighter who now supports business owners winning the game of life and business. And I am excited to revamp my channel again. And what I've really learned as I go through this journey is as I look back at certain things, I start realizing there were certain things that I knew and I didn't even know that I knew them, that I can present to other business owners going through their journey. And I say present to other business owners because let me tell you, um, business for anyone who goes into it, it is harder than it looks, kind of like fighting. And being a former fighter and a former UFC fighter, when you get into that cage, you know until you don't know. You go into something thinking you know something, and then you really start learning the lessons along the way. And what I wanted to do was really serve other leaders on their journey so that they could learn faster and grow more rapidly. And what I looked up, I saw a Harvard study, and it said people who challenge others' thinking grow 30% faster mentally, emotionally, and financially as they go through their journey. And I thought that was really, really kind of interesting because ultimately life's a game of figuring out how to find those challenges that stretch you so that you can get the things that you're looking to get faster in your life. And so this channel is going to be focused on how do we close the gaps? How do we close the gaps? And I go, there's four arenas that I'm looking at. How do we close the gaps in the mind, in our heart, and the mind is how do we think in the way where we can just take an action. We don't even have to think about it. We take it and we take it with confidence, knowing that we're going to learn a lesson along the way. How do we go with our heart? How do we love what it is that we're doing instead of being frustrated and grinding and hustling and doing things that we don't want to do? And how do we go into our skill sets in such a way that we can express them and share them and let people know that they're valuable and why they're valuable? Because as I've gone through the journey, clarity is key, is like it's a key piece when it comes to getting from A to Z and closing that gap. So how do you go into that aspect? And then the wealth. How do you align in such a way where wealth is coming to you instead of you're chasing money, you're chasing everything? And what really got me into that aspect is I learned a lot of lessons and I continue to learn as I'm going through my journey. As a leader, I say once you're done learning, well, you might as well just die because you've already done everything there is that you could do in your world. I don't like playing that. I like going as big as I can and learning lessons and stretching myself. And I want to stretch you and I want you to stretch me because ultimately, as I go through this game, I'm learning just as much as you're learning as you go through the process. So I'm looking to have a lot of fun with all of you as we're going through the journey. If you want to share anything that you're having a struggle with or a problem with, if I have an answer or solution, I would love to share it with you. And I'm looking forward to doing some big, big things together because there's greatness in every single one of us. And it's up to us to take the action so that we can create the reality we want to create in our world. You all have an amazing day. Talk with you soon.